Before you scroll past this, stop for a moment. This message is not random. It is meant for the person who has stayed strong for a long time, stayed quiet for too long, and felt tired in ways other people do not fully see. There is someone who does not look at you as a challenge, a prize, or a passing feeling. They look at you and sense something much deeper. They feel a real wish to stay close, to protect you, and to ease the heavy weight you carry without saying much about it. If you have ever wondered whether a love like this actually exists, stay with these words, because what follows might touch a part of you that has waited a long time to feel truly seen. Not everyone will listen all the way through. Most people look away when the truth gets too close. But if you are still here, that already says something. It means part of your heart is paying attention. And by the end of this, you may start to see your own life, your own hurts, and your own path ahead a little differently. So take a slow breath and stay with it. The kind of love being described here does not make loud noise. It does not chase attention. It moves in gently. But when it is real, it changes a great deal. This is what a steady, healing kind of love actually looks like, and it is worth understanding fully. This person wants to build a life with you, but not for shallow reasons. They are not drawn to looks alone, not to status, and not because they feel empty and need someone to fill that space. They want to build a life with you because something in them is genuinely moved by your heart. They notice how much you have carried on your own. They sense the quiet struggles you never talk about in detail. They see the brave face you wear, the steady voice you use, and the way you keep going even on days that feel heavier than anyone else realizes. And instead of pulling back from that, they feel drawn closer. Not out of pity, but out of real respect, real care, and a quiet love that grows stronger the more they understand you. They think about you with a serious kind of love, a love that does not need to perform, a love that does not require an audience. It is patient, attentive, and steady every single day. They notice your smile, of course, but they also notice your quiet moments. They feel the small dips in your energy. They see the times you say you are fine, but your eyes tell a different story. And every time they notice that, the same thought repeats in their mind. I want to be the safe place where this person can finally rest. I want to be the one who helps carry what they have carried alone for so long. If any of this speaks to you, keep going, because it only goes deeper from here. When they picture a life with you, they are not imagining a perfect wedding, nice photos, or what other people might say. They think about ordinary, real life. The early mornings when you feel worn out before the day even starts. The quiet nights when old memories return without warning. The days full of pressure, the days full of doubt, and the days when you feel completely worn down. They picture being right there through all of it. Not just during the happy times, but in the hidden and difficult ones too. Anyone who has wished someone would truly ease their pain instead of adding to it will recognize this feeling immediately. They picture honoring you, guarding your peace, and slowly helping you breathe a little easier. They dream of a close bond built on trust, patience, honesty, and the kind of understanding that comes from truly seeing someone beyond the surface. They do not want to watch your life from a distance. They want to stand inside it with you, step by step, day by day, through good times and hard times, through hope and healing, through every season that brings its own challenges. And here is something important. They are not trying to save you as if something in you is broken. They do not see you that way at all. They see your strength. They see your ability to keep moving forward. They see someone who has kept a soft heart alive in a world that has not always been kind, and that truth moves them more than they can easily put into words. If you have ever felt unseen, stay here, because this part matters. They see more than the calm you show on the outside. They see the hidden weight sitting just behind it. They see the part of you that lies awake at night, thinking about things no one else knows about. They see the side of you that has learned to smile, even while carrying disappointment, sadness, and long stretches of emotional exhaustion. They notice how often you give more than you receive, how often you listen more than you speak, how often you make space for other people, while quietly asking for nothing yourself. And what they feel when they see all of that is not fear, it is deep devotion. It is a real wish to stand beside you in a genuine way, to share the weight, to make your load lighter, both practically and emotionally. To become a place where your heart does not have to stay guarded every second. Because what people need most is not applause, not praise, and not the kind of empty excitement that burns bright and fades quickly. What we need deep down is to be truly seen, completely seen, not the polished version we show the world to get by, but the real one, the tired one, the one still healing, the hopeful one, the one still learning how to trust again. This person feels drawn to that full truth in you, not just the easy parts, but all of it together. That is why this kind of love feels so different from others. It looks past the surface and chooses the soul underneath it. They do not want to build a life with you just to gain something for themselves. They do not see you as some kind of achievement. They are not trying to own you, control you, or show off your love like a trophy. What they want is simpler than that, and deeper too. They want to care for you. They want to protect the soft part inside you. They want to help lift the strain you carry without ever making you feel weak for having it. Their love is not rushed. It is not reckless. It moves with clear purpose. It understands that healing takes time, that trust grows slowly over days, and that old wounds do not disappear after one conversation or one nice promise. So they are willing to be patient. They are willing to stay through the whole process. They are willing to show up again and again until their steady actions say what words alone never could. I am here. I am not leaving. You do not have to carry everything by yourself anymore. Notice this too, because it truly matters. They do not want to shrink your independence. They are not intimidated by your strength. Your strength is actually part of what draws them closer. They admire how you survived. They admire how you kept your heart open. They admire the courage it takes to still believe in closeness after facing real disappointment. That is why their love is not about competing with you. It is about adding to your life. They want to stand next to your strength, not stand over it, and that is something rare. Anyone who has been loved in a way that made them feel smaller already understands how powerful this difference really is. This person pays attention in a way most people do not. Many people only notice actions, they watch behavior, they react to whatever is easy to see, but this person listens for feeling. They notice energy, they pick up on what sits underneath your words, they catch a small pause in your voice, they notice the sadness hidden inside a sentence that sounds ordinary to everyone else. They feel it when your presence pulls back even slightly, and instead of demanding an explanation right away, they stay gentle. They stay close. They let their presence speak first. That is part of what makes this kind of love so healing. It does not only respond to what you do, it responds to your full humanity. When love only reacts to your actions, it becomes conditional. It grows when things are easy and fades when you struggle. But when love responds to what you feel, it becomes steady, safe, and deep. It tells you that you matter here, not because you are doing well, but simply because you are you. If that line means something to you, keep going, because this is where many people finally begin to understand why some past love never felt safe. This person has likely known pain too. They understand that people who have carried heavy loads for a long time do not always need advice. Sometimes they need quiet space. Sometimes they need room to breathe. Sometimes they need someone who can simply sit beside them without trying to fix the moment. This person wants to be that kind of steady presence in your life. They imagine a relationship where joy and sorrow are shared openly, not hidden away. A relationship where laughter can exist alongside healing, where difficult days do not threaten the connection, but actually make it stronger. They picture a future that feels peaceful instead of chaotic, not filled with mixed messages, emotional confusion, or constant guessing. Peaceful, grounded, and real. They think about ordinary days with you, and somehow those ordinary days feel special and meaningful to them. Coffee already made in the morning, quiet check-ins after a long day, a hand on your shoulder when your thoughts get too loud, the kind of silence that feels warm instead of uncertain, the kind of home where your nervous system can finally settle because love no longer feels like it might disappear. They want to solve problems with you, not against you. They want to build daily routines that make both of you feel safe. They want the everyday parts of life, not just the exciting ones. And that says a lot, because surface-level love only gets excited by the high points. Real love prepares for the ordinary ones too. It asks how it can make this person's life gentler, how it can help protect their peace, how it can be the kind of love someone never has to ask for consistency from. That is the future they see with you. Stable, loyal, calm, still passionate, but deeply rooted. And if you have stayed with this so far, maybe part of you already knows that stability is not boring at all. Stability is beautiful. Stability is what finally allows a tired heart to breathe out. They can tell that much of your pain did not come from just one event. It came from being misunderstood again and again, from giving deeply and receiving little in return, from staying loyal while others stayed unsure, from hoping someone would finally choose you fully, clearly, and without conditions, only to meet confusion, distance, or feelings that kept changing. They recognize how tiring that has been. They see how it taught part of you to stay ready for disappointment, to hold something back, to keep one foot near the door just in case. They understand why you became careful, why you do not always say what you need, why trust feels costly, and why being chosen still feels hard to believe, even when you want it badly. And instead of judging those protective parts of you, they approach with gentleness. They are not asking you to become easier to manage. They are asking to love you honestly, with actions that match their words, and with reliability that removes doubt instead of creating more of it. They do not want you lying awake wondering where you stand. They do not want you making yourself smaller just to keep the peace. They do not want your heart learning one more lesson in being left behind. They want to love you in a way that slowly teaches your body something new. That closeness can be calm. That consistency can be real. That love can stay and last. If that idea feels almost too good to be true, keep sitting with it, because what comes next may be exactly what your heart has needed most. Still, this kind of love does ask something from you as well. Not all at once, not by force, and not on any deadline, but eventually it will ask for something that may feel more frightening than pain itself. It will ask you to let it in, not the polished version of you, not the capable version that handles everything alone, the real version, the one still healing, the one that still gets scared, the one that still expects love to leave right when it starts to feel safe. This love will be patient, but it will gently ask you to stop preparing for its exit, because that is what past hurt teaches us to do. Hurt teaches us to get ready for loss before love even has a chance to settle. It teaches us to stay guarded, to love only halfway, to keep some part of ourselves untouched so we will not be destroyed if someone leaves. But the person being described here is not getting ready to leave. They are getting ready to stay, and that difference changes everything. It changes how your body feels in a room with someone. It changes what a quiet evening means. It changes what silence sounds like when no one is using it against you. It changes how deeply you rest when the person near you wants nothing but your honest truth. So if you have spent years surviving while staying on alert, hear this clearly. Safe love may feel unfamiliar at first. It may even feel strange, but strange does not mean wrong. Sometimes strange simply means new, and new can be the beginning of real healing. The deepest healing in life rarely happens alone. It happens inside safe connection, inside a bond where you are seen without judgment, supported without control, and loved without being managed. That is what this person wants to offer. Not perfection, not a fantasy life with no hard moments, but real presence, honest care, and a steady heart beside yours through every season. They want to know the full truth of who you are, your history, your fears, your private wins, your habits when you feel tired, your silence when you feel overwhelmed, and your softness when you finally feel safe enough to stop pretending. And they do not pull away from any of it. They move closer. Their love is quiet, but it is not weak. It is strong the way roots are strong. It does not need loud noise to prove itself. It builds slowly. It holds steady. It remains. It shows up in small things that end up meaning everything. Checking on you without being asked. Remembering what drains you. Protecting your peace when you are too tired to ask for it. Helping without making it feel like a debt. Making ordinary life a little lighter. These things may sound small, but they are not small at all to a heart that has carried too much for too long. That is why this kind of love can feel life-changing. Not because it is dramatic, but because it is dependable, and dependable love is one of the rarest gifts a person can receive. They are drawn to your strength, but not to challenge it. They are drawn to it because it tells the story of everything you have survived. They know you have made sacrifices. They know you have swallowed pain and kept moving forward anyway. They know there were days you held yourself together with nothing but willpower and quiet faith, and they are committed to being the kind of person who eases your burden instead of adding to it. They want your home together to feel like relief. They want rest to become a normal part of your life, not something you have to earn through total exhaustion. They want to notice your tiredness before you even have to say it out loud. They want to share responsibilities without resentment and to love you in practical ways that protect your spirit. This is not performed love, it is lived love. the kind that shows itself in ordinary moments and keeps showing itself long after the exciting part fades. They know vulnerability is not weakness. They know letting someone get close is one of the bravest things a person can do, and they want to be worthy of that trust every single day, not only when it feels easy. If any of this hit close to home, your own sense of things may already know the truth. If you are feeling something as you read this, do not brush it aside. Sometimes the heart recognizes truth before the mind can fully put it into words. So stay with that feeling and let it speak, because there is a reason these words are reaching you now. They imagine a shared life not as one big event, but as something built in small, faithful moments, waking beside you on quiet mornings, holding you when old pain resurfaces without warning, being the calm voice when your mind feels too crowded, being the steady hand when life suddenly feels too heavy. They picture the small, ordinary miracles, warm silence, shared routines, a look across the room that says, "I am with you," a home that feels like safety instead of tension, a love that does not disappear when things get difficult. They want to be the reason your shoulders slowly relax, the reason your breathing softens, the reason you stop feeling like you always have to brace for disappointment. Not because they promise a perfect life, but because they promise a consistent one, a caring one, a truthful one. They want to be the kind of partner whose actions answer your fears before your fears even have to be spoken. And yes, this kind of love is rare. It takes empathy, patience, and real maturity. It takes a heart that values peace over power and presence over performance. But rare does not mean impossible. It means precious. It means worth noticing and worth holding on to. If you have made it this far, maybe part of you already senses that these words found you for a reason. Maybe part of you is starting to believe that the love you once thought was too much to ask for is actually the kind of love that fits you best. So hear this clearly. You are not too much to love. You are not too hard to understand. You are not invisible. The kind of love that truly wants to ease your pain does not arrive with chaos, confusion, and loud promises that vanish later. It arrives with patience, with steadiness, with a quiet kind of choosing that keeps choosing you day after day. And when that love arrives, you will not have to perform for it. You will not have to shrink for it. You will not have to keep proving your worth just to keep it close. It will remain. It will meet the strongest parts of you with respect and the most fragile parts of you with care. It will not rush your healing, but it will walk beside it. It will not erase your past, but it will stop your past from being the only thing shaping your future. And maybe that is what your heart has been waiting for all along. Not a perfect person, not a dramatic rescue, just someone real, someone steady, someone whose love feels like peace after years of noise. If this touched something in you, hold on to that feeling. Let it remind you that the love you need is not a fantasy. It is possible, it is real, and somewhere, perhaps even now, there is a heart choosing you quietly, carefully, and with the full intention to stay.